I believe, and with some authority, I can say that this is the only profession which has been recognized for an employment by any statutes.
I'm like sure you must be aware about this issue as well, which is paper checking issue. A lot of students are sending me messages, and I have also seen online that even their questions are matching with guideline answers, institute is not giving them marks. So like if I keep myself in the shoes of student, then I will feel betrayal by institute, like why is this happening? So in this session we have with us our honorable formal ICSI president, Mr. Devendra Desh Pandey, with whom we are going to talk a lot about CS, and I'm sure we're going to get a lot of information. So welcome, sir.
Hi Neha, I hope you're doing very well.
Yeah, sir, how about you?
All well, all well. Tell me, go ahead.
Okay, so I have a lot of questions from you, and students also have. So let's start. First
Okay.
one is my question. I'm very much eager to know that what was your journey from being a CS member to CS president, like ICSI president. How were you able to get it? And we being a normal CS member, can we dream of it that will also become a president someday?
Absolutely, absolutely, Neha. There is no problem in dreaming about becoming a president of the institute. It is the highest position one can get in the social work, I would say. Let me tell you that it is not only from the date I became member of the institute, but I started this journey from the date when I became student of this institute. So I enrolled myself in 1998, and in 2001 I started my internship. And from that internship period, I started working for the institute as a volunteer. I will definitely share one experience with you. My first job as a volunteer at Pune chapter, which is a branch of our institute under WIRC. So I was a volunteer on a stall on which we have sold the T-shirts, and those T-shirts had that badge of CS team. So Team Pune and company secretaries and something like that. So from there the journey started. It was always like giving something back to the institute. It was not like I want to become a president, but in the process of giving back something to the institute, what we have is time. You can give
Correct.
time to the institute. You can contribute to the articles. You can nowadays you can create reels for the benefit of students, like what you
Yeah.
are. So you are doing something for the profession, for motivating students, for their benefit, solving their queries, and all these things contribute to giving back to the profession. And once I started giving back, then there were a lot of members who said, "Ki, why don't you become managing committee member of Pune chapter?" Then for 8 years, since 2007 till 2014, I was a member of managing committee of Pune chapter. I was
Wow.
a chairman of Pune chapter in 2013. Then I was there as a regional council member for 4 years, from 14 to 18, and from 19 to
Wow.
22, I was central council member. And due to God's grace, due to love of members, students, and all my council members, I became president in the year 2022. And I always say that I took the responsibility. It was a responsibility on my shoulders to be the president. It was not the power, it was not the authority, but it was the responsibility towards members and students. So this was a short journey. So, and I always wanted to give back something to the profession.
Correct. So amazing, very inspiring story. And I think every member should think like this, that we should give something back to our institute. Now, the second question is, a lot of students want to know, CS students, that what will be the future of company secretaries? Like they think kind negative of it, that will there be no scope because there is so low salary. What is your thought on this?
See, I believe, and with some authority, I can say that this is the only profession which has been recognized for an employment by any statutes. So there
Yeah.
is one doctor which is required to be appointed in as per Factories Act, and there is one company secretary who is required to be appointed as per Companies Act. So no other profession you will find in any of the act for mandatory appointment. So this is one scope which we have. But still, I believe that the exams which we go through, the one of the toughest exams in India, and the hardest training which we go through, and it's tough. I must say it is tough, and it makes us a very good professional. So I
Hmm.
think, and we always think that there are two sides of our profession, employment and
Practice.
practice. But I think in the years to come, we can see the academic side also, and our members will be joining various universities as professors. I would tell you that there are around more than 1,000 managing directors, CEOs of big companies who are company secretaries. So
Wow.
out of
Amazing.
70,000, more than 1,000 people are heading that position. So there is a fourth aspect also, entrepreneurship, which we
Hmm.
can do very well because we have studied so many subjects in our curriculum. So I think the scope is huge.
Hmm.
Don't get certain low salary and all. It's a
Yeah.
part of the game. And to start with, you may feel it's a very low salary, but 5 years down the line, I would like it is very difficult to find a company secretary who is not doing very good after 5 years of his membership. If he has put in all his efforts towards the working of his as a company secretary. So if he is serious about it, he is confident, then he will definitely do good. Financially, even my financial position was very weak, and now due to God's grace, it is very good. So it is only because of one degree. I do not have any.
CS. Yeah. Yeah, sir. So, see, like you being the former president of ICSI saying this, that CS course has a lot of scope, then I think every student should hear this and be calm and focus on their studies rather than, being in worry about scope. That's true. We also should focus on our qualities, improving ourselves. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, so there's one serious question about what's going on right now. So I am aware, I'm like sure you must be aware about this issue as well, which is paper checking issue. A lot of students are sending me messages, and I have also seen online that even their questions are matching with guideline answers, institute is not giving them marks, and also like papers, like marks have tremendously reduced. 70 marks I had, so it has been reduced to 50, 40. So like if I keep myself in the shoes of student, then I will feel betrayal by institute, like why is this happening? I also want to know what is the reason behind this. Like we know the one side of it. Can you please clear it?
It is very, very clear. See, this is not a formal communication from the institute because I am no more a president of the
Yeah,
institute.
yeah.
But let me tell you that there is a process. In every education institute, you will find that if the checking of certain lot of papers, so for example, there is a lot of 50 paper, 80 papers, which has been very strict or which has been very liberal. On
Okay.
that basis, that lot is kept for supervision rechecking. So it goes to another paper checker, and that another paper checker does a checking. So usually this process is in every exam, not only ICSI, it might be any other institute, any other educational university, everywhere. So this is the normal process. Our
Hmm.
institute is globally accredited degree. So let me tell you that questioning an examination and paper checking, it's really difficult. It is going to hamper the image of our profession itself.
Hmm.
Uh, and
Correct, correct. I also feel sad, sir, by seeing this. The students are actually opposing the institute.
yeah, it is not about opposing the institute because institute is made up of whom? I would always say that Central Council is not the institute. Institute is made up of students and members.
Correct.
There are, it is your institute. It is not any other institute. It is your institute. You are part of the institute, and
Mhm.
institute will never like to fail you with purpose, with intention. And then why they have asked Neha Patel as company secretary? Why? Whether there is any special quality in her? No. She gave exam. She attempted it. There might be a stricter checking, there might be reduction of marks. That's fine. If you have any issues, you contact president. He is the best person to contact. You have his email ID, president at icsi.edu, and you
Hmm.
can send your grievances to him. for last couple of years, we are doing the Samadhan Divas, wherein the students can log in at a particular time, and all their queries are resolved on the spot. So every month we hold that. Then so those students who are having grievances, they can attend that particular Samadhan Divas. Their problems will get resolved. And I
Hmm.
think it on social media doesn't make any sense. That's what I believe. I'm not saying those papers are fake or papers are not correct. If they
Hmm.
are true, then better to send it to president rather than putting it on the social media. That is what my view is, and president will look into it. I'm pretty sure.
So
And
what happened like this time is a lot of student face this issue.
I will
Majority.
tell you it will be around one or two lots of papers. And when
Okay.
you talk about 250,000 students, out of which if 80 students are facing this particular problem, for example, I'm just giving you an example, then percentage wise it is very, very low. And those who are having problem, they can write to the institute. There is
Hmm.
nothing wrong in writing to the institute. Institute will never take any action against you if you write to the institute with a serious note that okay, these are the things I have written this. Your guidelines answer say this. Now tell us what extra is required. Institute will definitely revert to you. That's not a problem. Institute is never against students. Institute is never against its members. It is your institute only. It is not a third party institute which is there.
Correct, correct. So yeah, like whoever is facing any issue, they can mail it to the president. They can use the Samadhan facility.
Yes,
Correct.
yes, yes.
Yeah. So, sir, like there's one. I don't know if this is a myth or what, but a lot of students and also जब मैं student थी, I used to think this that uh, demand supply, like in the market there are certain numbers of CS required, and as per that paper will be checked. Like scaling is this thing true? No,
Nothing, nothing.
no.
It
So,
will never happen because nobody knows what is the demand, what is the supply. As of today, you don't know what is the demand. In a listed company, I have seen 10 company secretaries working in a listed company, out of which only one person DR12 is filed. So we
hmm.
know about one person, there is a one vacancy, but in his department, there are 10 company secretaries working. So I think nobody knows about what is demand and what is supply. It is a robust system. And since 1968, it is not like today we are starting the examinations. Since 1968, we are conducting these examinations. And I think this is the only institute which declares its results on a particular date every year
Yeah, yeah.
for years. So you must also see the efforts of the institute, the entire mechanism. So catering to 250,000 plus student is not a very easy thing to handle. So I think your institute is doing pretty good. You don't need to have any negative feelings about it. If you
Yeah.
have experience, write to the institute. I don't have like it is very easy.
Hmm. Correct, correct. So,
You get
like, this is a myth that ICSI purposely fails students.
no
This is
no.
not true.
It cannot be. We don't like a paper checker don't know the name of the person who is writing the examination. So there
Hmm.
is no point in failing a particular person or a group of persons or a like that. It is not possible. If you have
Okay.
done, see, otherwise I would not have passed.
Hmm.
That would have been the situation. I took total 9 attempts.
Hmm. Oh.
So then why in 2 attempts I failed and why in third attempt I passed? You might be a rank holder. I think you were a rank holder, so you never faced this. But
Yes.
yeah, I as an ordinary student failed twice, and in third attempt I passed. So I think there is no purpose. It is all created thing. I don't think there is
Yeah,
any
yeah,
purpose.
yeah. So it's all about how you present your answer to the institute. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So we should not blame institute. We should focus on ourselves.
No, and see, basically nowadays, lot of responsibilities are there on company secretaries. So institute would like to have high quality, high caliber professionals. So might be sometimes the checking is tougher. That's fine.
Hmm.
And see,
Yeah, that's fine. That
if you
should be actually.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And number of students are increasing. If number of students increase, the institute will do more things for the students. Even executive, see, institute is working so hard that even an executive pass student should get employed somewhere. So they are
Yeah.
trying to put one category called
Mhm.
as secretarial assistant or something like that, executive assistant, company secretary. They are giving the certificates. They are doing so many crash courses for the students. So all these things are to improve the capacity and quality of students. So I don't think there is a anything of this sort that institute wants to fail students. No, no, I would definitely disagree with this.
That's so relief, like such a relief to all the students. Like it's a myth. Like see, ISSI doesn't do anything like this. Yeah. Okay. So like you being the former president of ICSI, what do you think a company secretary qualities, like what all qualities should a CS have which will help them to excel in their career?
The first and foremost thing I think is you should be passionate about your profession. And whenever you are doing something, it will be treated as done by a company secretary. So you should respect your degree at the most. So whenever you are saying something, whenever you are doing something, it is treated as done by a company secretary. So you should be honest with your profession. There should not be like you should follow all the guidelines. That is
Hmm.
number. Then it is all about giving solutions.
Yeah.
So if you are in a company, your board of directors want solution from company secretary.
Hmm.
He should not be treated as a barrier. So you should not say that okay, 188 does not allow this. You should
Yeah.
say okay, 188 says this, but this is the way you can do it within the framework of the law. So you should be a solution provider rather than a barrier or rather than a person.
Restricting themselves. Yeah.
So you that is the only thing which a company secretary should look for, that he should be a solution provider. He should help the companies to grow, clients to grow, or even the universities where he's a professor to grow, or he should start his own startup and he should make sure that it grows. So all the four avenues have the only one principle, that help to grow. So he should be a person who will help to grow the institute, university, organization, or clients. So that is the only thing one company secretary should do. You should not be treated as.
Yeah, correct. I totally agree with you. So like, what do you think? A person should stop by only taking degree as a CS, or what degree will go well with CS? LLB, MBA, or
Yeah,
something?
there are a lot of options which are available. It depends on what is your aptitude. So, if you are good in your accounts, finance, then definitely you should go for either a chartered accountant degree, CFA is there, MBA is there. A lot of many options are open. So,
Yeah,
finance side, law side, and I think combination will definitely help you in getting a
job
job
opportunities. Yeah.
good job opportunities, because you can be a multitasker in that case. Anyways, company secretary is a multitasker, but then your dream should be like in 10 years I would become head legal and company secretary of a listed company. So this is how, if that is your dream, go for LLB. So I would say that if you want to become a CFO and company secretary, go for some finance degree. And otherwise, like me, I am practicing. I do not have any other degree, but only one secretary. That
But
is
you are
sufficient.
doing great, sir. You were selected as the highest position, so that's great. That's very inspiring. Also, your student journey was very inspiring. Like you took 9 attempts to clear it. And what would you say on this? Many students feel demotivated and they leave the course because they are getting failed. So, what would you advise them?
See, once you leave it, whatever you are going to do is it's a new beginning. So, for example, you leave company secretary and start LLB. Then LLB is starting from zero again. So you are going back. So I believe that you should not leave it. You should give your 100%. There is always one last attempt which I would do, I would appear for, and I would clear. So those who fail, I think failure is just a failure in examination. It is not the failed person. Otherwise, a person who has failed 5 times would not have become a president of the institute.
Yeah, sir, your story is very inspiring, very inspiring. So, like you are in practice, you are into practice. So from the beginning, you were into practice, or you were doing job at first?
No, from day one, I'm into practice. I never wanted to be in employment. It depends on
Okay.
your aptitude again. So I always wanted to have that entrepreneurship with me. So
Okay. So,
wanted
like, so connection building is very important in our CS. How one should build connections? What are the pro sources?
see. I would tell you that you may create 1,000 connections, and out of 1,000 connections, you will get only one client. It is possible. The
Hmm.
most important thing is you should be consistent in giving highest level of service. If you are doing that, then you will get new work from same person or different persons. So people will come and find out where is DVD and Associates, and then they will give work to that particular firm. So this is how your approach should be. You should
Yeah.
not go and meet people and say, "Okay, I want work, I want work." That won't help, because
Hmm.
see, connection to business connection is again a 50% erosion, and from business connection to a fulfilled work and the invoice and the money in your bank account is again a very 2% chances. So 100,000 connections will become one or two big deals. So
Hmm. Okay. Okay, sir.
and it
Okay.
is a normal phenomenon. So I think it is everywhere.
Correct. So one last question from you, like what institute actually expects from students? Like how should student appear in exams, or what all should they write? Like what is the basic expectations of
See,
institute?
for executive, the expectation is very, very clear. And if you read the module, in the module itself, you will find what is expected, what is the level of knowledge required, whether
Hmm.
it's academic knowledge, whether it is expert knowledge, whether it is practical knowledge. So it is given
Correct.
in the module itself. So that is the expectation of our institute. At executive, most of the times it is about academics and basic knowledge. But when it
Hmm.
comes to professional, institute believes that you are going to be a company secretary next day. So your answers, uh, writing abilities, your skills should be like you are writing as a company secretary. So I think that is what is expected. So if you
Okay.
still write as a student, you are going to get lesser marks.
Correct. This is what is happening with a lot of students. Like they
Yeah,
think they have written everything correct, but they get less marks.
yeah. If you write as a students, see, it happens usually for professional examination. If you
Hmm.
write as a student, because there is a lot of difference between executive and professional. You
Yeah, agree.
should start writing as a professional. So it from see, you cannot communicate it to the paper checker. The only
Hmm.
option you have is write it the way you want to present it to him. So I think that really matters. The presentation does matter. Accuracy does matter. If you write related party transaction section 160, then the entire scenario is wrong. So you will get zero.
Hmm. Correct. The
To
section is
be very
wrong.
clear about it. So you will have to be very accurate. You will have to be like a professional. So that's why the degree is called as the professional. So executive and professional, two phases.
Hmm.
In professional, you act as a professional. That is what is expected.
Okay, okay. So, sir, like many of our queries have got resolved, and you have cleared our doubts very easily. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope this video is going to help a lot of students.
Sure,
Thank
Neha.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.